Yes, and essay. So coming to essay, um, I have gone through your paper. The fact is like there are many do's and don'ts which we have to take care. As far as essay is concerned, the approach of essay is totally different from the way we approach GS answers. GS 1, 2, 3, 4. Essay is, first of all, we should understand that essay is not just a compilation of fact, figures, data, information, surveys, schemes, etc. You have to make the reader engaged in your essay. That is very important because this is, you imagine, it's 1200 words. An essay means it is 1200 words, something around 10 to 12 pages you have to write. Am I right? 10 to 12 pages you have to engage a reader. And essay's capacity is how many marks? Essay carries 250. Essay carries 250 marks. Now the thing is, you have to write 2 essays. UPSC will give you choice. In essay paper there is section A, there is section B. In section A 4 choices are there, section B also 4 choices are there. You have to select one from each. Am I right? Section A one topic, section B one topic. And for each essay you have to write something around 1200 words, around 10 to 12 pages. And for each essay you will get to 90 minutes. Is that? So the fact is it 90 minutes? How many minutes you get? It's 90 minutes you get. So 3 hours, 2 essays, So 90 minutes means, yeah, for each topic you have to brainstorm what you are going to write. You should have, for every essay you should have an intro, you should have a body, you should have a conclusion. So first 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes you can go for a kind of a brainstorming or framing an outline what you are going to write in the 10, 12 pages, 1200 words. Then you are writing an essay, almost for 60 minutes you are writing an essay. Then finally for 10 minutes you can just revise what all things you've done in that 12 pages. So 90 minutes you dedicate to each essay. And what has to be your score? A decent score in the essay? Something? It must be something, kind of above 120, 25, 130, 140. If you go for 140, that is something exceptional. You can go up to 140, 150, 160 also. But it depends on your creative writing. So essay, you try to understand, essay is always, it is just like watching a movie, very interesting movie. Maybe it is other. You have to engage the reader throughout the content of your essay. So essay is something very analytical, very descriptive write-up in which you make the reader engaged throughout that reading process, and there must be a sequence of events, interconnections. You are talking about something, you are discussing the various dimensions of that thing, it must be interconnected. Got it? Then of course you must have a very fine conclusion. Now coming to your particular essay, let me tell you a few things. First important thing, few things I marked here. That is general instruction I would give to you. General instruction coming to essay means first important thing is this is a common thing, but it is recommended by many toppers and many mentors. In fact, it happens. Sometimes in the essay you reflect because you have to write kind of a river here. It's 1200 words. So sometimes it is not deliberately. Sometimes our ideologies, our viewpoints, our personalized or personal biased views, ideas, sometimes reflected in the essay. You must avoid that. Your essay should not be biased. For example, you are talking about this essay is on people, not geography determines a nation's border. Okay, you are talking about maybe India-China relationship. Maybe you have a kind of a hatred feeling for this China or hatred feeling for this Afghanistan, Pakistan or Nepal, something that should not be reflected here. Because you are here not a You are here not a journalist. You are a future bureaucrat. So that neutrality matters a lot. Your diplomacy matters a lot. Your unbiased viewpoint matters a lot. So don't be biased. That is first thing I would say. What all the topics you touch. Second is, I would say, don't go the extreme way. The extreme solutions, extreme suggestions, the extreme methods you say as a way forward or as a solution to challenges, that is again dangerous here. Don't go for that extremities. Because in essay writing, don't follow Jainism, follow Buddhism. Middle path. Then there is, throughout this essay, I have seen that you discussed so many problems, that the border issues we have, what all the problems we face, the problems you discussed a lot. Now it seems like you are asking the examiner to find out the solutions. We have given so many problems here. These are the problems, so many problems, and I also understood so many problems are there. Land as a border sometimes leads to competition among the nations, which can directly impact on the existence of some nations. US-China, like a trade war, creates negative impacts for many nations, and so many things are there. Now the thing is, where is the solution? Throughout this essay, I would say that 65-70% of the essay is like comprised of the problems we face. Now the solutions are missing. So that is also one thing you take care. You are writing on anything or any issues. Okay, if you are simply focusing on the problems and you are not giving solutions, that is not a good sign of a bureaucrat. As a bureaucrat, future bureaucrat, you must have instant solutions, and that solutions must be quite down to earth, and it is mass oriented, and it is appealing to the vulnerable sections, and it is practical. It should not be utopian solutions. So the solutions are missing here. When you give the problems, yes, you have to give the solutions too. Am I right? Then another issue I faced is it's sometimes we are so critic. You see the movie Chup. There is a Hindi movie Chup, in which DQ, he is like killing, that he is a serial killer of the critics of the movies. So coming to this, you are giving criticism, so many criticisms. Now that is fine. You can criticize. You can criticize the government. You can criticize the various international organizations, institutions, all those things. But it must have a humanitarian approach. It must have a constitutional outlook. Am I right? When you criticize, the examiner should also feel that this criticism is it is justified. It is constitutional. It is intended to seek some solutions. It is something connected with the topic. Okay, sometimes when you criticize, what happens, mostly you are off track. Your criticism, your discussions, it always revolve around that central topic of the essay. So you can criticize, nothing wrong in that. When you criticize, the intuition, that must be justified. Why you criticized? That must be constitutional, that must be universally, or that must be appealing to the examiner. Okay, there is a solid reason for this, and this can be justified. And without any proper grounds, you are giving so much criticisms, and that criticisms are not connected with the central topic, then there is no value of criticism. Then again, I would say that it would be always nice to avoid some personal kind of the criticisms, or maybe personal kind of, mentioning the name of certain parties, mentioning the name of certain so-called political organizations or politicians or leaders. It is not here, but it is an addition I am saying. Such a personal kind of attacks or personal names and all those things can be avoided. Okay. Again, coming to solutions, some solutions are so philosophical solutions. Okay, it seems like I am reading Bhagavad Gita, Quran or Bible. That is fine, philosophy should be there, but throughout the essay, if I feel all your solutions are philosophical and it is something very moral, you say something from Bhagavad Gita, you say Quran, you say Bible, and throughout that does not make any sense. Am I right? Yes, you can quote that, but throughout that, if you go for that, again, I'm telling you, this is not an issue with your answer. but mostly it happens with many aspirants when they say the solutions are utopian solutions, the solutions are too much philosophical, or they are borrowed from the holy scriptures. Nothing wrong in that, but it should not be like all the solutions are that way only. The solutions has to be, yes, see, some issues are there, you give the current, the instant solution for that, the practical solution for that, which the government can follow, which will benefit to the people. Okay, if I feel that you are giving philosophy lectures, that does not make any sense, it is not scoring. And also sometimes I think that yeah, we are exhausted after finishing few paragraphs, after finishing few paragraphs I feel that the rest of the paragraphs are kind of in Malayalam we say tallimarakal kind of thing. You see, it's repetition, so many. For example, let us say an organization matters a lot. The topic was like this, your introduction is pretty beautiful, that is fine. People do not geography determines nation's border, it's a good topic. This time also many such topics they asked. One of the thing was like the poets were unacknowledged legislatures of the society. A ship in the harbor is safe, that is not the ship is made for, that kind of the topics were there. Am I right? So sometimes when you see that you are super excited, oh, I can write so many things over this, but after writing few paragraphs you may feel that dried up, exhausted. So don't ever choose a topic just because of your excitement. You are so enthusiastic on that particular topic or person or this event, and you started writing, and you feel that in the midway you feel like yes, you don't have further points to give. Then what will happen? There will be repetitions, so many repetitions. Okay, here somewhere I felt like some things are repeated. For example, you talk about ethnical conflicts, you discussed earlier, later also you repeated the same thing. Okay, so somewhere I have seen that repetitions, somewhere I have seen very much generic approach also. When we look towards the world, this can bring a more development to the humankind and can generate a feeling of compassion and sympathy, more obligation towards other nations also when we create people as a barrier. So it's so much generalized there. Okay, so this is again I'm telling you, don't ever never ever choose a topic because of excitement, because of enthusiastic feeling. Okay, so just if you are 100% confident that you have sufficient solid valid content for that topic, then only you choose that one, for which brainstorming matters a lot. Coming to essay paper, before writing anything, you selected a topic either from section A or section B. Now you have to do that mind mapping, you have to do that brainstorming. Am I right? Just in the rough paper, you just frame an idea how you are going to approach that answer. Introduction, body, different. Body means different angles you have to bring into the body. Okay, this is not supposed to be approached only from geography point of view. You can approach from, yeah, there is like a geography is there, economy is there, society is there, political angle is there, technological angle is there, international angle is there, humanitarian angle is there. Okay, different environmental angle is there, different angles are there. Try to bring in minimum 80 to 20 dimensions coming to essay, and they must be very much organized also. Okay, for example, you see you written a history dimension here. Okay, history dimension here, then you went up to geography dimension again, it is a culture dimension, again coming back to history dimension, then culture dimension, then geography dimension. So it is totally it is unorganized. How to maintain a rhythm in this essay writing, yes, you are talking about a historic dimension, yes, go for it. Then you are writing about a cultural dimension, go for it. Then going for geographical dimension, go for it. Economic dimension, go for it. Social dimension, go for it. But it must be well connected. It should not be like jumping from one to other, again coming back. It should not be like that. Okay, here what happens, you written about a history dimension, then geography, then coming back to history, then culture, then geography, then history. That is happening. So that must be avoided. Very organized, that is sequential order of or sequential flow of idea, that must be reflected here. That sequential flow of your writing, your content, that must be maintained here. So that is very important here. Okay, so that thing please take care. It is always nice to avoid this first person narrative. You can use third person. We know or we use when we analyze. This can be avoided. We are able to know that can be avoided. I mean, when I read your essay, I must feel that you are super confident about the content you are giving. We can say, we may say, we know, we are able, all those things can be avoided. Okay, because you see that as a decision maker, your power must be reflected here. Your conviction over the topics or the content must be reflected here. That also matters a lot. Got the point? Okay, fine. You could have used the subheadings, headings and subheadings. Essay is always nice. You write in the short paragraphs. Sometimes you can use the points also, bullet points also. You could have given the titles, subtitles, subheadings, so that the examiner can easily identify, dictate that order, that flow. Okay, and what all things you mentioned easily identified. But here the problem is like it is a chunk of it is kind of what is called I mean, many things are there, but the problem is sometimes if you are giving that subheadings, that sequence also you can maintain this repetition or maybe this jumping from one to another, that will not happen. Okay, that also please take care. Somewhere you can underline the core points which you say. Okay, whichever you feel that is some core points you discuss. And something you see I noticed is like India and Pakistan are tied by heart, they're joined by heart. This tied by heart, joined by heart, that is repeated, that phrase is repeated multiple times. Consciously you have to avoid that. You can use it one or two times, but if it is noted for 5 times 6 times, that is also an awkward feeling. And also many where you given the examples of India Pakistan examples, so that gives a false impression that or an impression to the examiner that you don't have other ideas, you don't have other examples. Okay, so give when this kind of the topics are chosen, it should not be narrowed down, examples should not be narrowed down. Give vivid examples, different examples which is very much relevant with the topic you discuss. Okay, also very see, when it comes to a diplomat, when it comes to a bureaucrat, you must be very much aware about the government initiatives, schemes, or maybe the the UNESCO or this United Nations organization, or maybe World Bank or this WHO. Many initiatives of these international organizations are there, that is fostering these international relations or connecting these country with the countries or peoples of the nations. Global village concept is there, SDG is there, so different concepts are there which you could have brought into the answer. Okay, so such things you please take care. And also this thing what I said, the opening and the closing things, here I find it very impressive. You started with a conversation, you end up with that conclusion portion of that conversation. That is a very nice thing. You can start with a quote, you can start with a conversation, you can start with a narrative, critic narrative, or on narrative, or any incident, anything you can use, but that must have a connectivity, that must be connected well. Okay, so for introduction, conclusion, different types of essays are there. Philosophical essays are there, okay, or essays related to maybe the society or social issues, developmental issues, or related to this social justice, you see. So it is always nice if you cover certain important Kurukshetra, Yojana, EPW, or maybe different magazines are there, which is important, which will help you to develop different narratives, different perspectives, etc. So go for it, and it is so nice if you collect some good opening, concluding lines, quotes, which is very relevant with the certain topics. Okay, and it should not be like a full of quotes. Again, I'm telling you, essay is not the compilation of the codes or maybe data or fact or survey or static information, etc. Okay, so it must be a very descriptive, very analytical write-up, and that must be very sequentially presented. Got the point? So these are some common ideas I would share with you. You can write very beautiful essays, and here practice matters a lot. You just practice a lot, and it should not be so much generalized answers. Should not be so much generalized. We should not feel that this is beating around the bush. That feeling I should not have. I must feel that, oh yes, very nicely, yes, the sufficient, the very relevant points you given here. That feel I should have. I must have that plurality, or that is like a, that what I say is like a multiplicity of examples. So many examples I should feel I should have, so that I feel that your essay is not a very narrowed essay, or it is it is a broader essay, or you have broader idea on that topic. Okay, that concepts are very important. That's it. These are the things. Here, the example you given: Himalaya acts as a barrier for foreigners to invade India. That's fine. So somewhere you have given very good examples. Okay, somewhere you given very good examples. Somewhere it seems like very much generalized. Overall, these are things I would like to. I noted down. These are some things which I would like to share with you in terms of your essays. That's it. So take care of these aspects. Most important thing is not like your GS answer. Essay is always that that must reflect your creativity. That must reflect your literary skills, your communicative skills, or maybe your creative skills. Okay, it must engage the reader without losing this original content of that particular write-up. Okay, with different paragraphs you give, that must be connected, they should connect with each other. And whenever you go for different dimensions of the same topic, should not be deviated. These aspects are very much important. Please take care of these aspects. And essay, I would say at least every week minimum one essay you practice. It's not an easy job, yeah. It's not like GS answer 150 words 10 marker, or maybe 250 words 50 marker. It's not like that. It is 125 marks. How many marks? 125. Am I right? 3 hours for each essay, 90 minutes. Each essay carries 125 marks. Each essay you have to write 10 to 12 pages. Am I right? So practice on every Sundays. We can do wonders. And this is one of the very scoring area for those aspirants who practice regularly. That's it. These are the things I would like to share with you. These are some common feedbacks I shared with you. Just take care of these aspects, and just practice, continue practicing these essays in every weekend. Got it? Fine.